Long before we ever taste the food that's put on our table, we see it, and we form an immediate impression of what we think about it. Now, when you see broccoli, sometimes kids will wrinkle up their nose because they know what it smells like when you're cooking it. But this recipe for broccoli salad, of course, has it raw. I love the color of the broccoli. I love the texture of it in this recipe. And it's also so very healthy and good for anybody in your family. Not only is it attractive, visual, texture, taste, appearance, it's got it all in this recipe, and it's one of my favorites to use when I'm having a buffet of meals and company in because of the way it looks. So what I've done is I bought a head of broccoli or a crown of broccoli, whichever you'd like to say, and I've cut off the stem because I don't want too much of the stem in my salad. And you can do these in little pieces, larger pieces. You decide on which size you would like for those to be. And then I put some bacon into the oven, and I actually do not fry my bacon. I bake it in the oven, 350, about 20 minutes, and it gives it a wonderful flavor, and it's crisp. And then we've got about a cup of the raisins here. And if you don't want to use the raisins, you could use dried cherries as well, or cranberries if you have a certain preference. They add a little different color, but I like all of these shapes together in this recipe very well. Well, what brings it all together wonderfully is the dressing. And over here in the dressing, we're going to have about a half a cup of mayo and a scant half a cup of sugar. And that's really what's nice about it. You get a sweet flavor, and then you also get more of the salty flavor in the bacon. And then we're going to have some vinegar in here. And what that vinegar, being acidic, is going to break this down and bring it into solution much better. So let's make the dressing. And this is going to be easy. Put the mayo in first. And then we're going to add the sugar. And let's pour in the vinegar. Now you may question what's going to happen, but let's just use a little wire whisk and stir those all together. And believe me, they're going to blend in. I can already see the sugar mixing in. And then when we get this all mixed and it goes into the solution and looks a lot more like a dressing, you're going to probably look at that and say, yeah, but it's going to cover that broccoli and it's going to turn it white. Nope, it gets absorbed. It just is a wonderful flavor on top of this. And this one's been very popular. I see people take it to potlucks, but of course if it's a potluck in the summer, you'd want to be careful to keep it refrigerated. And in the wintertime, it tastes so much better out of the refrigerator cold. Now that we've got the dressing in there, I'm just going to put my hands in like this and stir it up. Then I'm going to add those other ingredients. I just want to make sure it's absorbing into the broccoli here for a nice even flavor. Plus, one of the things you'll want to do after you put the bacon and the raisins in, I would suggest you put it into the refrigerator for a couple hours so that it marinates the flavor. Okay, now I've got that done. And let's add the bacon. And let's finish off with the raisins. Now, I really like raisins, so maybe I have a few more raisins than what you will like, but I like raisins. And all of a sudden, look at that. You have interesting taste. You have wonderful variations in texture. You have something that's going to appear very colorful on a table. Sometimes when you have a fried chicken and mashed potatoes, you need a little color added. And this is going to be a fresh, nutritious salad to add. You can cut back on the sugar a little bit if you need to do that. You could probably even use a sugar substitute. Now, for the sake of presentation, you will want to serve this salad in a clear bowl because the color is so wonderful, you'll want to be able to look into it. Now, we mixed it in this bowl, and still some of that is stuck to the side. So I put it in here. I'm just going to be a little bit careful so that I keep the sides of my bowl clean. Oh, there's those raisins. Oh, this has got fruit. We got veggies. We just got everything in here. I wish you could, again, smell the aroma of this. It's just so pretty. Most of the time, this is such a favorite dish, I actually double the batch so that it would fill the bowl. And you may want to consider that. Now, this is not the kind of salad that you might keep overnight because it begins to absorb more and more of the sugar. But when you get ready to serve your meal, this is just going to add so much color and so much appeal. And don't forget, it's also very healthy for you. So again, whatever you do, any of your ingredients, remember the two most special ones are caring and sharing.
Down the Road is brought to you in part by Prince Agra, makers of Omnigen AF, advancing animal nutrition for healthy animals, and Woodruff Enterprise of Springfield, Ohio.